Why, hello there! How are you today? Awesome Soul here, and welcome to another special drone video. As you can clearly tell by the title, this is some rather good news. And that is finally, after a couple months of being pushed back, we have the announcement that the drone crowdfunding will be starting rather soon. Which, by the time this video goes up, should be about 6 days away. Of course though, if you're not watching this video when it goes up, or you just want to double check for yourself, the link to the official countdown timer on their website will be in the description, so check that out. Now, that's great and all, but I'm sure some of you are wondering how exactly this is going to work. Because of course, the key term here is crowdfunding, not Kickstarter. I know basically Kickstarter is kind of ubiquitous with crowdfunding at this point, but they're actually doing something a little different here. And that is they're doing their own internal crowdfunding on their own site. From what they've told me, they've actually built their own interface, which I'm curious to see how it looks. Now, I'm sure there are some questions people might be having about why exactly they're not doing a Kickstarter and rather going with this other method. Well, I've been in contact with them for a while, and from what I've gathered, it's really for two main purposes, or I guess three. The first one being, while the drone community right now is pretty strong, it's not particularly large. And as some of you are aware, the way Kickstarter works is that there is a time limit as well as a donation goal. And if you don't reach that donation goal, then your Kickstarter funding is basically cut off. That's kind of how I understand it. So basically, they don't get the money. This way, they are guaranteed the money, and they can have this crowdfunding go on for as long as they'd like, which is very useful if you have a community like ours. A strong one, but not a large one. So I guess that was kind of point 2. And also, point 3 is that if they do go through Kickstarter or some other ones, they would have that corporation skim some money off the top of the money that they need to fund this game. And that's not really a good thing if you're just 5 people and you want to get this game off the ground. Though one really good thing that I've been informed about is that they're going to be showing off Drone at GDC 2018. And that, of course, for those who don't know, is the Game Developers Conference. And this will be in San Francisco, California, running from March 19th to March 23rd. So this should hopefully get a lot more eyes on Drone going forward, meaning that we'll get more people into our community and they will get, hopefully, more backers for their crowdfunding. Past that, over on their Discord server, we've asked them if they are going to be doing some sort of slow reveal of what the perks might be leading up to the actual release of the crowdfunding, but they said they're not going to reveal anything until the crowdfunding actually starts. And what they're also going to be doing is releasing a rather snazzy looking video around that time too. I've actually seen a preview of it, and the editing in it looks really cool. Not going to reveal anything because I know for a fact that they wouldn't want me to go into specifics here. So that's all you're gonna get. But overall, I'd say this is looking pretty good. At first, I was a little bit concerned about them not using Kickstarter, but after realizing why they're not going with that one, it makes a lot of sense. So I'm not really worried about that anymore. Hopefully me explaining it to you kind of lays any fears you might have to rest. Though, of course, with any crowdfunder, there is still a little bit of risk involved, obviously, but it does seem like it's in a pretty good spot. Now, as far as closing thoughts go for this video, I guess kind of touching on the perks themselves. Like I said before, we don't actually have any information on the perks, but what I would kind of like to see is more digital-only stuff, and maybe for the really high tiers, they might give out actual physical items. But from what I've seen with other crowdfunders, mainly on Kickstarter, it seems like they focus a lot on actual physical items for lower tiers, and that just seems really inefficient. You know, you want the game to be funded, so why are you spending all this money on t-shirts? Like, you have to spend money to make the t-shirts, and then you have to ship it out. And on top of that, give them the game, or whatever else they might have in that perk tier. So in the end, out of, let's say, a $24 tier, they'd only make, like, $8 after all of that. And that doesn't seem like the smartest decision. But hey, those are just my 2 cents. I know some of you out there might want to get your drone swag, and I'm certainly not against that either. With all that out of the way though, needless to say, I am incredibly excited for the future of this game. I've been keeping an eye on this game basically since the day it was first announced. So, fingers crossed, and best of luck to FSI. But yes, now it's your turn to continue the discussion in the comment section down below. What are your thoughts about D.R.O.N.E having their own crowdfunding rather than using other sites? And what kind of perks would you personally like to see? With that, I of course have been the Awesome Soul. I thank you all so very much for watching. I'll see you next time. Take care.